May I call on stage the Chair of Innovation and Technology Committee of SLID, Ms. Chiranthi Cooray, to take us through the call to action.
Hello everyone, good evening. I know we've run a little late and beyond the planned schedule, so I'll make it quick. But this piece that I'm going to share with you is fairly important. We've had a great discourse, a lot of ideas coming, very practical insights from industry experts and leaders. But what we do next is what's going to make a difference in our companies and in our roles as leaders in the corporate world of Sri Lanka. So we have reached the end of today's session. The key takeaways. Number one is right people leading and guiding IT governance. So from a level 1 minimum IT governance company to an engaged IT governance company, the first requirement from the board and the leadership is stewardship and sponsorship for the cause. This means we have to become the cheerleader, the champion, the evangelist, and sometimes the redeemer, especially if it involves innovation. Innovation involves risks and failures. And then there needs to be board sponsorship and stewardship, fearlessly going in to redeem some of those projects which are bound to fail and accept that. That's important. At leadership level, identifying, onboarding, and investing in getting the right talent to the company, and the role the board plays in augmenting the management, supporting and guiding them to bring in that talent becomes really important. Creating a position and assigning duties would be only merely ticking the box. For compliance, for regulatory requirements, that serves the purpose. Beyond that, putting a team of qualified people, investing in capability development is the only way to achieve traction and execution of strategy. We can formulate strategy, but execution is what really moves the needle. In that respect, boards always ask for ROI. Being there, Dilshan spoke, being on both sides, keep asking for ROI, where's the needle moving, when is the needle moving? Sometimes it takes time. As board members and leaders, we need to have the patience to wait till our results of our efforts bear fruition. That's important, and that kind of empathy and support that is to be given to the management also becomes important. Right IT resources in place for execution of IT governance. Dilshan also said, and a lot of us also know, many of these boards are accountants. When accountants look at it, typically it becomes that one of cost, and that's fine. But the shift of focus is from procurement, from cost to value, value for money, value for time, a shift of focus into speed, which delivers fast to the customers. Aruni said about how banks in the head offices are quite different to what you experience at branches. I just met a 4th generation customer of my bank, and we just engaged. I met her before. We get this feedback, yes, so how do you deliver speed? And more than anything, when you have other professionals other than accountants, we also look at sustainability and bringing ethics into the process. Ethical resourcing to ethical disposal of tech waste. These things also become a part of our governance story as board leaders. So going on from there, IT compliance needs to remain current and support the latest technology, updates, and remain secure. We are talking of Western Province, the corporate elite in this room. What about the SMEs out there who are struggling for IT literacy, digital literacy, and financial literacy? Anuji is there, the chairperson of the Women's Chamber. She just awarded amazing women entrepreneurs in this country. The SMEs out there to whom we lend are struggling in digital technology. The story of IT governance is so far away from them. So we need to educate ourselves fast and go back and educate the rest of the country in this journey. Both need to view IT investment into governance not as a necessary evil, but as an opportunity that provides great ROI and other financial returns, and also a great director and a board level experience. Evolved board level leadership means empathy and understanding. We all know when the boardroom web conferencing fails, everyone gets stressed out. When there's planned and unplanned downtime, everyone fires the questions. But are we there to support the management? Is it a team game we play or a blame game we play? We need to be educated on this, and SLID is going to do just that. The call to action is a behavioral shift, an openness to learning, whether we are in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, or octogenarians, like Mr. Tudave said. Very inspiring story. I was so inspired to hear that story. That thinking needs to be brought into the boardroom. So SLID is keen from the Tech and Innovation Committee. A few of my colleagues are here, and under the guidance of the SLID board, to create a database of directors with adequate knowledge and experience who would serve on boards, whether they are in 1s, 2s, or 3s. By having directors with adequate competence, we can promote corporate governance and IT governance. Also benchmarking exercises, ITG practice circles, industry knowledge sharing, maybe manufacturing to banking, to telco, and also resource pooling. And a specific work program to be developed with the Ministry of Finance and 4 state-owned enterprises. And in conclusion, the SLID board leadership training course continues to be the flagship product of SLID. We are all beneficiaries of it. There are students and teachers of this course in this very room. We have an ambitious plan to launch an IT governance BLT certification program from SLID. We will share those details with you in due course. In closing, I just want to leave this thought with you. IT governance is simply not just the CIO's job. It's a shared responsibility among all the senior leaders. It's time for each of us to chip in. The time is now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cooray.